Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about an album that I've really enjoyed so far this year and something that I think has gone really under the radar due to all of the other crazy albums that dropped this year, and that's Hypnos by Ravyn Lenae. Her debut album dropped earlier this year, and I just really want to talk about it because I think it was excellent and it doesn't sound like a lot of other things out right now. So for a little backstory, this album dropped May 20th of this year, and I first listened to it that night. I'd been a fan of her a little bit due to her features on some other songs from other artists, especially on Glass Flows by Smino on Black Swan, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. I think one of the best ever. And her feature on that is excellent. So I've always kept up with her a little bit. And then I found out she was dropping this debut album, and I checked it out that night. And I drove around to it on my first listen, and it was definitely very unique. I hadn't really found like how much I liked it yet upon the first listen, but I really was impressed on how it didn't really sound like anything I'd heard recently. It's very dreamlike, it's very therapeutic, it's very kind of like a trip, I guess, because of her very angelic, like whispery falsetto that she does on a lot of the songs. Not in the way that you've heard in a lot of pop, like a Billie Eilish style or like a people who copy Billie Eilish style. It's definitely different, and it's her own kind of flavor of those kind of vocals, and it's really enjoyable to listen to. It's just so comforting to listen to. It's very relaxing. I think that's really one of the better words for it is relaxing. It's something you could just put on while you're trying to go to sleep, and it could definitely help you do so. So after the first listen, even though I didn't like physically like any songs on Spotify, I listened to it a couple more times in the next couple days, and the songs I added to my library were Deep in the World, which is a solo track from her, Lullaby, another solo track from her, Mercury with Fushi, I believe it said, Fouché might be, and then Wish, which is the closer. And there was a lot of great songs on the thing. I'm just looking through the track list, 16 songs, all of them are good. The beginning was a little bit slow for me. I like more of the songs now, but I didn't like them originally. But let's talk about some of my favorite songs on this album and ones that you should definitely check out. So first off, if you're fans of this feature artist, you may have heard this song. It's her biggest one on Spotify right now, and that's Skin Tight with Steve Lacy. I think it has like 4 million streams. The rest of the album does not have that many streams. It definitely should, so again, go check this out if you haven't already because it's very good. That's a good song, but not one of my favorites. Deep in the World is very therapeutic. It's very trippy in terms of just kind of the beat and just her voice, and it sounds like a dream, and it's kind of hard to describe unless you hear it, but again, it's very unique, and I just don't know any music that sounds like this at the moment. So that's a really good song, not one I play too often because it doesn't have a ton of settings where you feel like listening to it, but it's a really good song, especially maybe if you're going to go to sleep or something like that. And when I was listening to it at night on that first listen, I was like, wow, this is an experience. Also, 3D with Smino, another reason I listen to this album. More Smino features. You know, we love Smino around here. That's a really good song. Satellite's very good. Both just fun listens. And then one of my favorites is Lullaby with a Monte Booker beat. I remember listening to it the first time when I heard, because it starts off really slow, kind of like a lullaby. And then the drums come in and the beat comes in, and I'm like, that sounds like a Monte Booker kind of beat. And then I checked the credits, and it was. So I was very proud of myself for recognizing that, but that's a really good song. Towards the end, I mean, stuff like Light Me Up, Like You Do, Ecstasy, all great. Possibly my favorite, it's between two, which is the second to last track, and then the closer is Mercury with Fushi or Fouché. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. Please correct me because she is a great artist, and her vocals on this song, on Mercury, are incredible. Her first verse, I mean, the hook is really good, and it's just very fun, and please listen to the song. If you're going to listen to one, listen to Mercury. But her vocals on the first verse and then the bridge are just like addicting. It's so much fun to listen to. It's so catchy. The lines are really memorable, and please listen to that song. But then the closer is Wish, and Wish kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the start. I was like, oh, this is kind of like a pop, like this sounds like a Disney movie song. But then it kind of built up through the rest of the song, and she hits these crazy, ridiculous vocals after being, pretty reserved and keeping this kind of low falsetto. Then she just like belts and some amazing vocals, I think on the bridge of the song, and it just like it hits you, and then the hook comes back, and you're like, it's just an experience. So Wish, so good. And I still kind of think it sounds like a song from like a Disney movie, if that makes sense. But just with like the strings and stuff. But it's really good. It's unique. And I don't listen to a lot of music like that, but it's so good and just really was such a great tone for the album to end on, which goes a long way for me. But that's really all I've got to say about this album. It's excellent, it's unique, it's dreamy, it's so many things that I don't hear a lot in music right now, and I think you should definitely give it a chance and check it out. There's hits on it, there's more mellow songs, and there's just songs that sound so unique, sound so dreamy that you just really catch yourself wanting to go back and relive that experience. So thank you so much for joining me again. Check out Ravyn Lenae's Hypnos, one of my better albums of the year so far. And thank you so much for watching. I'd appreciate a like and a subscription to the channel, of course, but no pressure. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.